This is way too much multitasking. All right, you ready? How's it going, John? So what what happened, buddy?
I'm an idiot.
John, why are you an idiot?
I went to go get something in your car. That something being like all my tackles we fished together yesterday. And I used your keys, of course, to unlock the car, right? And I forgot to take the keys out of my pocket. So I have your car keys and my car keys and the car keys to 3 other cars. So.
All right, I just explained that to John off camera so he doesn't have to sit here for 5 minutes while I film this video. But here's what happened. Came downstairs, looked for my keys this morning. Keys were nowhere to be found. I was super confused because all we did was came home, drove Perk's truck like a mile away to a restaurant, came back, basically like sat on the couch, edited a little bit, and then went to bed. I woke up this morning like, where are my keys? I was looking around everywhere for like a good 45 minutes. I called the restaurant. I just couldn't find my keys at all. And I texted John, I'm like, hey, is there any chance like my keys are in your car? Even though it didn't make sense because we weren't in his car. And he sent me a picture of my car keys. But all is well, my car was still unlocked because he went in there to get stuff, and there was a spare set of keys that were in here. So here I am on my way to East Texas to go bass fishing today. I'm very excited because the last 2 days I fished in Central Texas and it's still way too cold. All these like Dallas lakes are still really muddy. They're just not in good shape at all. So I'm going out to East Texas right now where the fishing is much better right now. I'm just gonna have to grab those keys from him on my way back in 2 days. So all is well. We're gonna do some amazing bass fishing today. All right, guys, so here is the deal. We've made it to East Texas. We've made it on the lake. I was going to go to another lake today that's a little smaller than this one, but that lake is all muddy and it's shallow. I was looking at the lake that I'm on right now on the map, and I literally had no plans to fish here, but something in my stomach was telling me to go to this lake. It looks much clearer on Google Earth. Again, this is like a clear lake, probably 3 to 5 foot visibility. The other lake has mud. I still am probably going to fish that other lake today, but something in my heart was telling me I have to stop here, and you always got to follow your instincts when fishing or really anything in life. So I'm going to stop sounding like a motivational speaker. The reason I came to this lake is I'm looking for fish that are potentially pulled up on their bed spawning. If there's no fish spawning in this creek arm, I'm just going to write off the whole lake as they're not spawning here, and then I'm going to go to the other side of the lake. But I just could not drive past this lake without going out and checking it. Wow. Okay, the clarity on this lake is absolutely amazing. I'll be able to tell really easily if there's fish on beds or not. There's a good 5 or 6 foot clarity at this lake. I'm not sure how much you guys can see from the GoPro, but with my glasses on, I can see right here, and it's at least 5 or 6 feet deep. This is a really pretty lake. It's amazing just how big Texas is, the vast amount of fisheries that they have. All right, this is probably going to be quick. I'm just gonna rip through this creek arm probably in like a good half hour. And if I don't see any bedders, then away I go. We're about to leave the lake, but I have found the first male on the bed. This is the only bed I've found in this entire creek. I've seen some fish up shallow, but they're very spooky. They're not locked on beds. They're kind of at that stage where they're just roaming, you know? They're not locked on the beds. They haven't found their female yet. Oh, this guy's gonna bite. We put a GoPro down there, actually. He is completely locked. The water's very clear. Let's get a GoPro down there. There's the bass. His bed is right here. Let's try to see if we can very gingerly. Wow, he's in like 3 foot of water. And just like that, that bass is right back to his bed. He is locked on so hard. He's very weary. He doesn't like the camera. I'm gonna let him chill for about a minute or two. Let him get used to that camera, go inspect it. Then we'll try to catch him on camera. All right, we are going back to our study participant. Oh, there's a big female on there now. What? Oh, the game has changed, boys and girls. There is a 7 or 8 pound female right there. Really hope that camera picked it up. Oh my. Oh, I just got so jacked. There's a big female on that bed, and I have a camera on it. Now it's just a waiting game. That fish was super spooky. The second it even sensed me, it went away, and I didn't see it before. All right, got to get in the zone here. You guys have to understand that I am from Chicago. I have fished almost my entire life up north. A big bass on a bed to me is like a 4 pounder. I have never, ever, ever spent like hours and hours on a big bed fish like many people in the South have done. Most of my bed fishing, to be honest, has been for smallmouth, and smallmouth are pretty damn easy to catch off beds. I can't believe that. Knew I had to trust that intuition. Maybe I don't switch lakes at all. All right, I'm gonna let that chill, and I'm gonna let the big fish come back. Tied on a bed fishing rig, which is just basically something super bright that, one, pisses off the fish, and 2, I can see when it's in their chompers. Now this water is so clear that I'm gonna have to stand so far back and cast from a distance to not pretty much alert them that I'm there. That big fish was just inspecting the camera, and it hates me there. The big fish is not completely locked on. The second the big fish senses me, it moves away, but that little male is locked. That big fish is pretty much next to impossible to catch, unfortunately. So let me try to catch the smaller one, see if that does anything to the big fish's attitude. Come on, it's right in front of the camera, buddy. I promise I'll put you right back. Unbelievable. The fish just picked up the tail and moved it out of the bed. He does not want it in there. Got him. Finally, he got aggravated enough. All right. Not that big of a fish. Second bed fish of the year for me. Beautiful little Clearwater, Texas fish. Female, the guy you're paired up with, or the girl I should say, is much, much bigger. I don't see her. I think that fish is going to be impossible to catch just because it won't even be on the bed if I'm anywhere near it. Again, like I said, I do not have the most bed fishing experience. I'm not sure what the right thing was to do there. I'm gonna give that bed a couple minutes rest, see if the big female comes back, because that is the prize. Because that female, it wasn't a super giant, but it was a big Texas fish. It was probably a good 7-8 pounds at least. Was not a double digit, and that's kind of what the goal is. I don't want to say I'm out here to only catch a double digit like 10 pounder, but these lakes in East Texas have plenty of double digit fish, and finding one on a bed is really a dream in the springtime. I'm going to get the camera now. I think that big fish is actually pretty impossible to catch. That male is already back on his bed, but from all the way over there, I took a cast and my craw landed on the shoreline, like ease into the water. Like I tried my hardest to be as stealthy as possible with that cast, and the second the line hit the water, that big fish went boop, see ya. He is smart. They do not get that big from being dumb. Moving on out of this creek now. I think that's one of the hardest things about bed fishing is just knowing when to move on. I could easily spend hours back there trying to catch that one big fish, but I just think she's not locked on enough. I really hope I got good footage of the male, catching the male on the bed, and then I'm really hoping that female went in front of that camera a little bit, because I'm pretty positive that was like a 7-8 pounder. The male looked like a 2 pounder, caught him was a 2 pounder. So that female was a long fish. It was like 23, 24 inches long. Really, really hope she got in front of the camera. So the only fish I found was in the very, very back of that creek. This lake is like really steep. Like we're probably over 20 at least foot of water right now. So I'm gonna go into the way back of a couple other creek arms and just look a little bit. If I keep finding more fish, I'm just gonna stay here. I'm not gonna go switch lakes. So why would I ever leave when there's big fish pulling up on beds? Especially in a clear water lake like this. Small chance I go back and visit that fish, but I think now I'm gonna go find some other ones, or at least try to. All right, boys and girls, we did it. We have found another pair on a bed. I just scared them off. They were right there, and they didn't swim away that fast either, right on the edge of that. So I'm gonna keep that one in my head. That one is right there. I'm gonna go fish a little bit more, try to look for some more beds, and then go back to that one. This is exactly what I feared. Those fish are not coming back. They're not locked onto any sort of bed. At least on the first bed, the male was really locked on. Those two fish were pretty much just paired up in an area, and those are virtually uncatchable. I can't even be close to that vicinity without them just staying far, far away. I'm gonna check 2 more coves now to try to find some sight fish, and then I'm probably gonna have to go to that other lake. I think this lake is literally just like 2 or 3 days from like just getting really stupid, meaning there's bass just everywhere on their beds, and they're locked onto their beds and catchable, because those fish are completely not catchable at all. And I have a lake just down the road that I know I can catch a good amount of fish at. It's just sight fishing is too addicting. Need to stay focused. All right, guys, so as promised, we have made it to the other lake. This lake really could not be any more different than the lake we were just on. This one is like all completely mud. It's a little bit of like tea colored water, but for the most part, it's mud. I just ran all the way up to the very northern end of the lake. Probably should not have done that either, because I didn't see any stumps. And just over there, I hit like the loudest stump of my entire life. If I had hit that going at full speed, definitely would have screwed something up on my motor, pierced a hole through my fiberglass, good stuff like that. There's like a ton of weed around too, so I'm probably just gonna fish a little chatterbait type thing. I don't know. This is, I thought this was gonna be an easier lake and that there'd be a lot of grass, but totally forgot the fact that Texas kind of like froze its ass off this winter and all the grass is dead. Really glad it's still there, but look at, there's a good view of just that tea-colored water. There's one. All right, first fish at the new lake. Did not feel like a bass at all. It's not a very big one, so that would explain a little bit. Been fishing honestly for at least a half hour. This all looks so good. So good. There's like a grass line. There's a bunch of flooded bushes. It's all in a solid like 1 to 2 foot of water too. Like I feel like I should just be crushing them, and that's the first one I've caught. This type of fishery could not be anything different than what I'm used to in Illinois, but that's what I love the most. Like figuring out new bodies of water, solving the puzzle, if you will, of the days. Ooh, I didn't like that stick. Solving the puzzle of the day is the most fun to me. And this is about a half a foot of water. Oh, this right here is one of my personal favorite parts of fishing new lakes, getting stuck. I especially love when it's so dingy of water that you can't tell how shallow it is. Sick, we are beached. Oh my. A solid 2-3 inches deep. Oh, nasty freaking bottom. Oh, it's just muck. I think we're floating now. Are we floating? Oh, we are floating. That would have really bummed me out if I had to waste a lot of time getting myself unstuck right there. Oh, no, don't happen again. Tomorrow I am staying on one lake and one lake only. I'm done launching my boat in a lake I've never been and giving myself 3 hours to try to catch bass. Not practical. Oh, there's one. That's a fish. It's not very big, but it's a bass. He was on the grass. He wasn't on the laydown. This one too bit so weird. Oh, look at the black blotches on him. I do not know the scientific reason behind this, but I'm pretty sure they only get this when they're spawning. Look at that. It's so cool. See you, buddy. All right, I'm trying to figure these bass out, guys. I'm trying. That one came right there on the corner of the green grass, right next to the log. There's one. Oh yeah, there's one. Another one on the chatterbait. Same size too, all just little males. These females have not moved up yet. Pretty fish. They're like all three just cookie cutters. No black blotches on that guy. He's not nearly as cool, but it's like I think it's like 6:30 now. We have an hour of daylight left. I wanted to try to catch a big one out here, but I don't know. I can't really sight fish them, and I don't know if they're moved up entirely yet. Oh, there's one. Another little one. Yep, all the buck bass are around these weeds. Come on, buddy. Well, I think I've patterned them a little bit. These standing isolated reed heads, male bass on them. I'm pretty sure they're spawning around them. That would make sense anyway. Interesting that I haven't gotten a bite on a jig. I fished it a lot. You guys just haven't seen it because I haven't caught anything on it. They want something moving.
You can get like a public pass. Like you can pay, it's like $35.
Ooh.
Like, it's not a private water.
Got one.
You spend $35. You got one?
Yep. Oh no, he's in the weeds. All right. Got another one on this chatterbait. John, you got some words of encouragement for me?
Yeah. Do you want me to sell them, or are you just asking if I have any words of encouragement?
Yeah, that'd be great. This one's a little better of a fish.
That's a nice fish, Chris.
Thank you, John. Thank you so kindly. This one also got that little bit of a...
The line is very beautiful on that fish.
The lateral line?
South.
The lateral line is actually not very defined, John.
I have a question though. Was that fish tits dragging in the sand, or what kind of action did you get that fish on?
Actually dragging in the reeds.
In the grass.
Beautiful little fish. This might actually be a female. He's got a little bit of a bulge, or she does. Let me be politically correct.
Maybe he's a she.
Maybe he's a it's an it bass.
Did you just assume that fish's gender? Oh my god, Chris.
Bass have genders. So let's start a campaign, John. Hashtag bass have genders. We've got a beauty of an East Texas sunset right now. I'm idling back to the midsection of the lake. I'm gonna fish one more spot before I get out. It's just like a riprap stretch, but I pretty much patterned the fish for the day. There was a lot of males. That last one I caught might have been a female, and I lost a couple too, but pretty much every single fish was on an isolated reed head or a point in the reeds of like those green reeds. It sucks, but the fish were not in the wood. They were not up in the bushes, and I tried really hard to make that work in the first like hour, but every single bite came on a chatterbait in those green little bulrushes there. I think those are bulrushes, I don't know. Right now I am idling through a flooded forest, which is hands down my least favorite thing about fishing in Texas. All these lakes are just flooded forests sometimes. There's big sticks everywhere. I've hit 6 or 7 trees so far, and they don't sound good, they don't feel good. Honestly, I shouldn't be holding my camera over the water, because if I hit one right now, it would probably fall in the water. No big fish yet today, but it has been another amazing day fishing in Texas. I saw a big fish, so it kind of counts.